Alright, fine. I just had the song stuck in my head. It has nothing to do with what we're going to learn about. But it's fun. I love the Cupid Shuffle. Alright, Algebra Tiles. Algebra Tiles are a tool that we use to help us start to understand perimeter area and solving equations. So we're getting fancy into algebra now. Review. Area. Area is the distance inside of a shape or a space, whereas our perimeter is the distance around. That's important to remember, so memorize it. With our tiles, we name our tiles based on their area. So let's go through the different types of tiles. All right, our tiles. We have a unit tile. It's like this dark colored bluish black. It has measurements 1 by 1, and 1 times 1 is 1, so we call it the 1 unit or unit tile. Now the tiles have two sides. One side is going to be a color and the other side is always going to be red. And the red side always indicates that it's a negative. So this would be 1 unit, whereas this would be -1 unit. Our next tile is called the X tile. It has a dimension of 1 by X. 1 times X is 1X, but the 1 is invisible. We don't necessarily have to write the 1. It's just assumed because there's only 1X written that it's 1X. If it was 2 X's, we'd write 2X, but it's not. Okay, so our X tile has this blue color, and on the back of it, it is red, which indicates our negative X tile. Our X tile then makes an X squared tile. Notice the shape is a square. Same color tile, still blue. The dimensions of the sides are X by X, and when you multiply two variables, they wind up being squared. If you think of like 2 by 2, that would be 4. 3 by 3 would be 9. So X by X is X squared, meaning you're multiplying whatever that dimension is to itself. The back side of it is red, meaning negative X squared. So we don't say X2, we say X squared because the shape is a square. X squared is always going to make a square, or anything squared is going to make essentially a square. It's saying the dimensions are identical on both sides. Okay, then we have our Y tile. Our Y tile is purple in color. Its dimensions are 1 unit by Y. So we get 1Y. Again, that 1 does not need to be written. It's invisible. And on the back side, it's red, which indicates a negative Y tile, or a -1Y. Then we have our Y squared. So the dimensions are Y by Y, which as we learned above is Y squared. And the back side of our Y squared tile would be a -Y squared. And our last tile is our XY tile. It gets its name because if you take the X tile, it matches the X sides, and the Y tile matches in length on the Y side. So when we multiply that together, we get XY. We cannot combine them because they're not like terms. So we call it XY. And the back side is red, meaning it's a -XY. So there you go. Those are your tiles. Go ahead and play, pause, and repeat. Make sure you write them down in your notes because it would be great for you to be able to reference them if you're not sure.